Dear viewers, I'd like to extend a warm wish for your health and well-being. Before we begin, a humble request: if you're finding value in our content and want to continue on this journey of growth, please support the Proctor Mindset channel by subscribing, liking, and sharing this video. Your engagement truly helps us reach more people who need these messages. I'm incredibly grateful for your presence and the time you've dedicated to being here with me. Thank you. Our team works tirelessly to bring these insights to you. We pour our hearts into every word and every video, and your support makes it all worthwhile. Thank you again. Did you know that your entire life, every single aspect, can be transformed in just 6 months? 6 months. It sounds improbable, doesn't it? Perhaps even absurd. But let me ask you a question: how many years have you spent trying to change without truly succeeding? What if I told you the problem isn't the time itself, but how you use it? Have you ever felt constantly busy yet internally stuck? You get up, you fulfill your obligations, you check things off your lists, but at the end of the day, nothing really changes. The same routines, the same problems, the same results. It's as if you're trapped in a never-ending loop. This was my life for years. I worked hard. I did my best. But I wasn't moving forward. One question haunted me: why, despite all my efforts, was my life not progressing? This question led me to meet Earl Nightingale, the mentor who changed my entire trajectory. Sitting in his office, I asked him, "Earl, what is the secret? What truly makes the difference?" With disarming serenity, he looked at me and said, "Bob, there is no secret. You simply have to decide what you want and fully commit to it." It might sound simple, but those words were a turning point in my life. Before that, I was like many people, full of desires and dreams but completely without direction. Desire is passive, it's waiting for an external factor to intervene. Decision is taking power. It's at that precise moment that you stop blaming circumstances and start taking control of your life. The truth is that the majority of people never make a clear decision about what they truly want. They say they want to change, they want more, but they act as if they're waiting for permission. Perhaps you, too, are waiting to have more money, waiting for someone to believe in you, waiting to feel ready. But let me tell you, that moment will never come until you truly decide. I'm talking about a decision with a capital D, the kind that scares you, that makes your heart beat faster, that makes you doubt. And that's where the key lies. If your decision doesn't frighten you, it won't be enough to transform your life. How many times have you put a dream on hold, telling yourself it's not the right time? A study from the Harvard Business Review reveals that 61% of people wait for ideal conditions to change, but only 6% make a clear decision regardless of circumstances. And it's those 6% who experience the greatest transformations. I know that deciding on something important can be scary. But you don't need to know how you're going to get there. You just need to know what you want. The universe responds to the clarity of your intention, not your doubts. And when you truly decide, doors begin to open, people appear, opportunities arise. This isn't magic, it's a consequence of changing your frequency. You emit a clear vibration, and since everything in the universe works by frequency, what you emit comes back to you. Take a piece of paper now. Yes, right now. I decide that in the next 6 months, I will pursue a goal that truly makes me feel alive: starting a business, changing my career, becoming debt-free, writing a book, or moving to a new city. It doesn't matter how it's going to happen, only the what counts. If an inner voice whispers that it's impossible, just smile. That's your old mental pattern trying to keep you safe. But that safety is often just another name for being stuck. Feeling fear means you're getting closer to a zone of expansion. When you write down what you desire with precision, you send a clear command to the universe. Your body reacts. Your mind awakens. Your posture changes. From that moment on, your life takes on a new rhythm. I've lived it. I've observed it. And I've been teaching it for decades because I know it works. What most people lack is not ability or opportunity, it is decision. And that decision doesn't depend on anything external, only on a moment of inner truth. So tell me, will you continue to wait for the right moment, or will you decide today who you want to become? Because every new reality begins with a decision. If you lay the first stone of your transformation today, in 6 months you will look back and see that it all began on this very day. Did you know that your brain can't tell the difference between a real experience and one that is imagined with emotion and precision? It's scientifically proven. When you intensely visualize something, your body reacts as if you're truly living it. Your heart speeds up, your breathing changes, your muscles contract. What you project in your mind has the power to shape your reality. This is what I discovered, and it completely changed how I built my life. At first, my inner image was the same as many people's: failure, fear, and lack. In the mirror, I saw someone who was broken, limited, and lacked confidence. And my life was an exact reflection of that vision. But when I started to change what I saw within myself, everything on the outside began to shift. I wrote my goal on a card and kept it in my pocket. Every day, every time I touched it, my brain would wake up as if I were saying, "This is real." The more I repeated this mental image, the more the universe responded. I had helpful encounters, new ideas, and greater clarity of mind. And all of this came from a simple mental image. So tell me, what have you been projecting on the screen of your mind lately? When you wake up in the morning, what is the first image? Is it the fear of debt, the worry about the future, the burden of a job you don't love? If so, that is exactly what you are attracting. The life you are living isn't a punishment or a coincidence. It's a vibrational match. Have you ever had a dream so intense that you woke up in a sweat, with your heart pounding, convinced that it was real? This has happened to me several times, and by observing these reactions, I understood a powerful truth: if the brain believes in a dream, why not use it consciously during the day to create your reality? Start today. Give yourself 10 minutes. Sit in silence, close your eyes, and visualize with precision the life you truly want to live. Don't just imagine it in a cold or distant way. Enter the scene completely. See the colors, hear the sounds, feel the textures. What would your dream home smell like? What would your own laughter sound like in a fulfilled life? Who would be by your side? How much money would arrive in your account? What if every morning you woke up with gratitude instead of anxiety? Visualize all of this with as much emotion as possible. Thinking is not enough, you must feel. Emotion is the engine of manifestation. A thought without emotion is just noise. A perfect example is Steve Harvey. Before he was famous, he visualized his future. He wrote and spoke about his future as if he was already living it. Even without the means, he kept that image alive in his mind. The result? What was once just a dream became reality. It wasn't luck, it was emotional consistency applied to a precise vision. You can do the same. But let me warn you, in the first few days, your old self will rebel. You will think, who am I to imagine all this? This is your paradigm trying to protect itself. It's your old programming wanting to keep you in the comfort zone. Don't fall into the trap. The more you repeat this image, the more your brain will accept it as true. And when the brain accepts, the body follows. When the body follows, the universe responds. A study at Harvard University revealed that athletes who visualized their training with emotion developed almost as much muscle as those who trained physically. Do you understand what that means? Your mind is the engine of transformation, but this engine needs a direction, the image you choose to carry within you. The majority of people don't do this. They let the outside world dictate their thoughts. They turn on the TV and hear tragedies, they repeat negative phrases, and they say, "That's not for me," or "Life is hard." And these repeated images form an inner movie that produces the very emotions, attitudes, and results they wanted to avoid. It's an invisible yet powerful cycle. And you can break it right now by choosing what you project in your mind. Have you ever noticed that even after deciding to change and visualizing with emotion, you fall back into the same patterns? It's as if a hidden force always pulls you back to the same thoughts, behaviors, and results. This force exists, and it's called a paradigm. A paradigm is a set of deeply ingrained beliefs programmed in you from childhood by your family, school, society, and the defining experiences of your life. Here is one of the most unsettling facts: our mental patterns drive approximately 95% of our actions. In other words, the majority of your day isn't dictated by you, but by an old, automatic program installed without your conscious consent. This is why so many people feel like they're living in a never-ending cycle. They make resolutions, set goals, develop plans, and always end up back at the same point. How many times have you tried to save money, only to spend it all? How many times have you started a diet and given up in a few days? How many times have you decided to change without being able to maintain that change? It's not a lack of willpower, it's the silent work of the paradigm. What's most dangerous is that it feels comfortable. The paradigm provides a false sense of security. It whispers phrases like, "It's better not to take risks," "What if it doesn't work out," or "You're not good enough for that." And if you're not careful, you end up believing them. Worse, you defend them as absolute truths when they are just inherited beliefs. I experienced this myself years ago. I was offered the chance to lead a sales team. It was a huge opportunity, but something within me screamed that I wasn't up to it. It was my paradigm telling me that it wasn't for me. For a moment, I almost refused, but then I had a realization: that voice wasn't mine. It was the old program trying to protect me. I accepted, and that decision allowed me to reach a new level. I could only do it because I understood that it wasn't my true self that was afraid, it was my conditioning. Perhaps you are in a similar situation today. Perhaps you're facing an opportunity that could transform your life, but fear is paralyzing you. Maybe you are thinking of quitting your job, starting your own business, moving to a new city, or beginning a new relationship. All of this might seem too big, but let me ask you a question: what is stronger? Your fear or your desire? Change begins when you identify your paradigm, and the first step is to observe your current results, because your results never lie. They are a faithful reflection of the active paradigm within you. No matter what you say you want, what you have is exactly what your paradigm allows you to have. This can be painful, but it is also liberating, because if the paradigm created these results, changing it can transform everything. But how do you change a paradigm? The answer lies in your higher mental faculties, the ones you may have never learned to use: imagination, reason, and will. With imagination, you conceive a new image of yourself. With reason, you question the beliefs that limit you. And with will, you maintain that image even if the world around you remains the same. But be careful, the paradigm will resist. It won't disappear without a fight. Every day, it will try to convince you that change is dangerous. It's like an elastic band: you pull, and it tries to snap you back. But if you hold on long enough, something magical happens. The elastic breaks, and the old program loses its power. That's where true freedom begins. Not the freedom to do what you want on the outside, but the freedom to be who you truly are on the inside. Because when your inner world changes, the external world has no choice but to follow. A study from the University of California, Los Angeles, revealed that over 80% of our daily thoughts are repetitive. Today, we literally think the same things as yesterday. These repetitive thoughts, fueled by recurring emotions, create identical behaviors that lead to a repeated life that many people can no longer stand. The question is this: will you continue to be led by an old program, or will you take control of your own story? Changing a paradigm isn't fast or easy, but it is entirely possible. I can say this because I have seen it happen thousands of times in ordinary people, people of all ages, professions, and cultures. What matters is a firm commitment, a commitment to reprogram your mind every day with the image of the life you want to create, a commitment to observe your thoughts, emotions, and reactions, and to consciously choose a new response in every moment. Because true change doesn't happen outside of you, it happens inside. If you can defeat your old self, no one can stop you from achieving what you want. Have you ever met someone who seems to attract everything effortlessly? Opportunities appear, doors open without effort, solutions arrive at just the right time. It seems like luck, but it's not. There is a clear explanation behind it: vibration. Everything in the universe vibrates at a specific frequency. Matter, light, sound, and even your thoughts. What you think about with emotion becomes a frequency. This frequency acts as a signal sent to the universe, and the universe always responds to that signal. I understood this by observing my own results. At first, I wondered why some people prospered faster, even with less talent or knowledge. The key was their frequency. They didn't just think positive thoughts, they were already feeling their success as if it were real. And that feeling changed everything. The universe doesn't respond to what you want or what you say. It responds to what you emit, and you emit through your emotions. Thought initiates, but feeling gives life. If you think about prosperity but feel fear or lack, you are vibrating with lack, and that is what you attract. But if you feel abundance before it is there, you align with it. This isn't a theory, it's physics, quantum physics. Max Planck said that all matter arises from a force born from consciousness. Consciousness creates vibration, and vibration shapes reality. You are a living antenna that constantly emits and receives signals. Steve Harvey is a testament to this. Long before his success, he was already living like a winner. You turn on the TV, you hear dark news, you think about bills, you complain about work, and a heavy, low-energy emotional atmosphere is born. And then you wonder, why doesn't my life change? The answer lies in the energetic frequency you choose to maintain. It is a personal choice. You can decide right now to change your vibration. How? By clearly imagining the life you want to live and feeling that reality as if it's already present. Sit down, close your eyes, and ask yourself this question: what would I feel if everything were already sorted out? Let that feeling invade every cell of your body. Repeat this every day, not as an obligation, but as a sacred ritual, a training towards this new version of yourself that is being built little by little. At first, it will feel fake. Your mind will resist, reminding you of debts, disappointments, and limitations. But if you persist, something eventually changes. You get used to this new frequency. You act differently. You perceive details, paths, and opportunities you didn't see before. Because when your frequency changes, what you attract also changes. This is a natural law, not a miracle, but a logical consequence of your inner state. In psychology, this is called emotional priming. Your state of mind directly influences your perception of the world and your decisions. Starting your day with gratitude, faith, and enthusiasm literally transforms how you see and interact with reality. You resonate with a chain of events that, from the outside, might seem magical, but in truth, it is only the reflection of your vibrational alignment. You must become the master of your vibration. The universe doesn't respond to your words, it responds to the energy you emanate. And this energy comes from what you feel frequently. What you feed constantly builds your vibrational field, and what you consistently support manifests sooner or later in your reality. But be careful. This doesn't work if you do it only once in a while. It's like a radio station. If you keep changing the frequency, you'll never finish the song. Choose the frequency of your ideal life and stick to it, even if everything still looks the same on the outside. Remember that change always starts from within. The image comes first, the vibration follows, and the result is only its echo. You can transform your life in 6 months. It's not a myth, it's a law in action. But it requires your emotional commitment. Start today. Create your image. Feel the emotion. Raise your frequency. Then, watch the universe reorganize around you. Because when you align with what you desire begins to align with you. Nothing can stop you. This convergence, when it comes from your heart, is where true change begins with a clear, courageous decision, one that shakes your soul, takes you out of your comfort zone, and puts the power back in your hands. It's not time that transforms, but the commitment you make to yourself today. Now, are you ready to take a new step? The next video that appears on the screen will take you even further with powerful tools to raise your consciousness and reveal your best self. Thank you so much for being here.